Hey everyone, Nicholas here. This video is part of my First Time Homebuyer Academy channel, and wanted to answer a few questions about the as-is addendum. This is actually really important for you to know as a first-time homebuyer. As you're looking on Zillow, if you see anything that says as is, or the seller is selling as is, that is something to take note of. Something very important that you should know of as a potential buyer is that essentially when you see as is, that means that the seller is saying, take it or leave it. I'm not going to really negotiate or change much about this house. Now, typically when you put in a purchase agreement for a house, there's a couple different things you can do. One, you can put a purchase agreement and you can waive the inspection, saying, I'm not going to get an inspection. Now, if you don't know what an inspection is, I'm going to have another video about that. But you can say, I'm not going to get an inspection. Or you can say, I am going to get an inspection. I'm reserving that right. Or you can say, I'm going to get an inspection, but it's going to be an as-is inspection, and we're going to fill out the as-is addendum. So those are three different options you can choose on the purchase agreement. Now, this as-is addendum is very, very important because it's different than your regular inspection. So essentially the as-is addendum, and when a house is selling as-is, means that you as the buyer are essentially relinquishing your right to negotiate based on the results of the inspection. And you're doing that up front when you put the purchase agreement in. When you put that offer in, you're saying straight up at the beginning, you know what? I'm still going to get an inspection for my own peace of mind, so I know what I am buying. But I'm saying up front, I am not going to try to negotiate based on the results of that inspection for this purchase agreement, for this offer. Yes, it's very common for as-is houses to appear on the market. You'll see those all over Zillow. Typically, there could be a wide variety of reasons why the seller is selling something as is. Maybe it's an older house. Maybe they just are not in a position. They're like, I'm not fiddling with it. I'm not doing it. I can't speak for every seller, but a lot of times it's that maybe they don't want to take the money to invest cash-wise into the house, and they're just in a position that they're just feeling confident, and they're saying, that's it, take it or leave it. And so a lot of times people are like, well, is there something wrong with the house? I don't really know. I can't speak to every house, but usually it's not a nefarious reason for the as-is addendum. Usually it's just the seller is saying, take it or leave it. This is what you got. I'm not fiddling around with negotiations. I'm not going to fix stuff or give credits to buyers at closing. This is just what I'm doing. And so that's important for you to know before you spend money on an inspection. No matter what the results of that inspection are, you can't negotiate. Well, you can, but essentially the seller has a very strong right to say, no thanks, we're out of here. We don't want to deal with this. We don't want to deal with this buyer. We're going to look elsewhere. So now one of the ways we can work around this is if an inspection comes back and you don't like the results of it, you as the buyer, you still can back out of the deal, and you can say, no thanks, I do not want this house because of the results of the inspection. If an undisclosed defect has been present in the inspection, you can say, no thanks, I don't want that. And essentially, in order, after you do that, if you wanted to, we could go back and put another offer in. A whole new offer, a whole new purchase agreement. Now this time though, you know a lot more about the house. And so it gives you a lot more buying power and ability to make an informed decision. So there's some very creative ways that we can work around that and work with that. But you should know that as a first-time home buyer, as you look at those houses that say as is, chances are you're not going to have, if you go into that house and I show you that house, you're not going to have a whole lot of leeway in the sense that you're going to be able to get the seller to change some things if you don't like it after the inspection. So keep that in mind as you're shopping around as a first-time home buyer. All right, see you later.